Well, following on from last week's where I showed you how I'd weathered or rusted up these old trucks, and of course I told 3 shunter there. I'm going to show you the others which I've done where I've been trying to make a tarpaulin to go over. The other thing I got was I got some of them decals, graffiti decals, but unfortunately that's one I've put on the building there. They're too big for what I wanted. They're half a double O gauge, but they'll be alright on the side of a tanker, but they're not. They're just too big for what I wanted on the have a DMU, which I was hoping to put a couple on. I'll show you the DMU, but as you can see, those graffiti decals are too big. What I have done is I got a paint marker fine point pen and did a bit of write on, like Salt to North Yorkshire Moors Railway. I don't think they buy that even. But you can see I've made those tarpaulins. I'll show you how I've done it in a bit. And of course another one there. I don't know if you can see that on there. I've put COND with an X, which they put on a lot of the old stock, didn't they? Whether they were, what do they say? They put on when they say they were condemned, not fit for purpose or not fit to run. But it's come out alright as that. I know that's used for rope. It looks like rope. Is this? Oops. It's elasticated cotton. You can buy it. I've said before I use it on that fencing down there, but you've probably got it in your wife or your mother's sewing box. It makes handy for making a rope, tying down. I think they look alright now. Alright, this is how I made that those tarpaulin sheets. I get paper anchor, that's all it is, cut to the size you require. But before you put it on, just put some cling film on to protect the wagon, and also stops the sheet sticking to the truck. Again, cut to size. I've got that far too big, haven't I? But it don't matter. I'll cut it down. Cover it up. Then cut to size. Film. Now I'll put the paper hanky over and tie it on with elastic band. And I say, when it's all dried, it'll be stiff. You see, I'm going to put PVA on, mixture of PVA and water. That's it. Put that on with an elastic band. Hold it in place. You can adjust it when it's wet, especially. You can adjust it to how you want creases in the sheet. As you can see what I've got there now. I'm going to paste that with PVA, 50% water, 50% PVA. It's quite thick PVA is that. I'll put that on and then leave it 24 hours obviously to harden off. And that should got a bit of colouring on as this has paintbrush, unfortunately, again. But it don't matter, because what happens when it's all dried and set, I can then paint that to whatever colour I want the sheet to be, which will probably be in a grey anyway. See what I mean by, just cover it with PVA, and when that's dried off it'll be fairly stiff. And as I say, you can just pull that to get your sheet as tight or as slack as you want it, wrinkles in. Some say they use silver paper, but I'm not like, I suppose you can, I don't know, but I might try that. But I'm just thinking about when you come to painting, when you're painting over silver paper, I know it'll crinkle up for your a few wrinkles in your sheet, but for painting it might be a bit different. Anyway, we'll come back to that tomorrow when it's dried off. You can see what I've done now, can't you? Nice. These were the other things I wanted to show you. I'll show you that graffiti. These are the decals. You just cut round them, dip them in water for 10 seconds, 20 seconds, and then it peels off and sticks onto whatever you're going to stick it onto. But as I say, I was hoping to put them on that DMU, but as you can see, they're far too big. They're not ideal for going on bridges, etc. And I say, I think it shows in a diagram here. Let's bring it up. They've got it on a freight line, a coal truck there, you see. Well, that's alright because you've got quite a big surface on those, but no good for a little DMU underneath the windows. Anyway, just what else I thought I'd show you. Right, here we are, 24 hours later. That's dried nicely. So I'll paint that now and then we'll cut it down to size. I'm just using a grey acrylic spray paint. See now why I said to put that cling film on it, stops it going on everything. There we go, I'll leave that to dry and then we'll show you the end product. Right. I have to cut it down. Paint's dried on that now, so I can take it all off. Pull the starting sheet away. There you are, so all we have to do now is cut that to the size we want. And then of course we just get some more of that cotton and tie it over. But you can see what I'm getting at there now. That's it, you can just cut it to what shape you want. But you do that on your open trucks, you know. If you've got some cargo on an open truck, they're ideal for that. I have to do this other side yet. Just cut them off to your size. If you need a bit more paint on then just to cover over you can do. And there we have it. I put the cotton on, elasticated cotton there as a rope, and it's been sold already, you see. Ready to go back on the siding there. Yeah, it don't look bad. And there it is, that's the one we've just done. So I've got a few on here now. Just have to have an auction, get rid of all this old stock now. I'm going to just run this class 24 down now with a full rake on, in fact a double rake. We'll see how she goes. I've brought her all the way around now, I'll set her off. Full rake.